What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am the Physical Media Mac, Tight White's brother. And yes, I bought a baked beanie like my brother Tight White. But I contemplated on this, all right. I wanted to wear this Modelo, which by the way is fire. I'm just going to show this off. Check out that Modelo. Hat is so dope. Anyhow, I got tons of Laserdisc to show you guys. As usual, I got 3 boxes here this time around, so I want to go eat lunch. So I'm going to get through this as fast as possible. I procrastinate on doing a lot of these videos, guys. You know, I've never been a part of a YouTube channel in a series that gets less views every time I make a video. It's pretty impressive. But and again, I procrastinate the hell out of making these videos, but I got people like Sammy. Shout out to Sammy, who's keeping me on track, always asking me when I'm going to make my next video. So this one's for you, Sammy. And by the way, Sammy has his own YouTube channel where he shows off obscure Laserdisc like I do, trash Laserdisc, trash adjacent Laserdisc. I'm going to put the link in the description. Please go over there and subscribe to my boy. Oh, we got some lightning and thunder. Got some bad weather rolling in, guys. But yeah, subscribe to my boy Sammy, the trash king of the South. No, the trash king of the North. I'm the king of the South, ain't I? Oh my God, we're starting with this one. Holy fuck, man. Now I remember seeing this early on when I first started checking out Whatnot Laserdisc shows. And it popped up. And everybody was in shock. No one even knew what to say. No one saw this cover before. Completely obscure. And we were just, again, stunned at what we were seeing. And it wasn't an aggressive buyer back then. So I let it slip through my hands, right? And someone picked it up. And they got it for a pretty good deal. They had to pay up a little bit. But I regret that ever since. And then all of a sudden I see this on eBay, this minty freaking copy of this. And he's selling it for a fortune. I lowball him with a half offer. Never in a million years I think that he's gonna take my offer, and sure enough he takes my offer. So got a really good deal on this. And for the condition of this could easily be a $100 disc, guys. Easily a $100 grail. And that's Gator Bait 2, Cajun Justice. And this chick is so freaking hot. Now, these covers make these chicks look a lot hotter than they are in the movies, typically. But this chick is this hot in the movie, guys. I'm telling you right now. And now, first of all, the first in this series, Gator Bait 1, I want to say came out in the 1970s. Now, this is in the same vein as I Spit on Your Grave series, which many of you know. I've talked about this in the past. I made the mistake of watching the sequels to that and not watching the OG. So I don't really have a lot of nostalgia or respect for the OG. Because once you watch the OG one, if you watch the sequels first, the OG one's tame as fuck. Now, I don't know if this is the case with this franchise, because I've never seen Gator Bait 1. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have seen it. But I tell you what, this is going to be hard to beat. I mean, trash films are known for having covers that are way better than the film. I would say that this cover is one of the best looking covers I've ever seen in a movie. But this is one of those films, those special occasions where the movie is actually good as the cover. Because this is one hell of a badass rape revenge film. Survival, dirty, Louisiana, trashy, swampy thriller that you will ever see in your life. And I'm not even, like, you guys might think I'm joking. I really enjoyed this film. I think it's very well made. And yeah, it's all about the swamps of Louisiana and some Louisiana rednecks. This chick's getting married at the beginning of the film. And her husband, which, is he on the, oh yeah, the husband's right there. The husband's right there. And anyway, these rednecks kidnap her. Are the rednecks on here? Yeah, right here in the middle. And basically leave her husband for dead. I won't tell you too much more. But this chick ends up turning into a badass. But I love the way the film takes you, where it's this guy, her husband's teaching her the whole time how to fish, how to survive. So he's preparing her for the worst case scenario, doing a really good job as a husband. And she's a badass chick. And so when bad shit does go down, she's kind of prepared for it, which is really cool. But yeah, man, this is one of my favorite Laserdisc right now. God, this thing is so fucking minty, man. And yeah, you do see those gorgeous breasts during the film. And it's funny, like, there's some pretty cool revenge kills in this, but I guess this is a real thing, because we're going to talk about another movie later where they do this as well. Maybe they do this in the military, where they're hostages. They'll take a bag, they'll throw snakes in a bag and put it around your head, and the snake will kill you. She does that to one of the victims, or one of the rednecks in the film, which is really cool. Yeah, highly recommend this. TWT, Tight White Trash. This is one of my favorite films on Laserdisc, guys. What a hell of a start to a fucking video. Gator Bait 2, baby. Alright, gotta take care of that. I'm not gonna put any Laserdisc on top of that. I'm gonna put that off to the side by itself so I don't ruin it. Alright, hopefully I did that some justice, guys. Alright, this is a cool film. One that I don't think I've seen before. I think this has two names as well. I should say as well, but this has two names for sure. I think it's something something Beach, or some Savage Beach or something like that. Welcome to Spring Break. Now, this is a 1989 film. Oh, it's also known as Nightmare Beach. And this has the legendary John Saxon in it, from Nightmare on Elm Street fame. But he was in so many good B films throughout the years. John Saxon is a god amongst B actors. There's some windows up in here. But yeah, basically this guy, this crazy nut serial killer guy who dresses up in a motorcycle outfit, he ends up getting executed. Hopefully I'm not mixing up movies. I've seen two movies that are similar to this, actually, that we're going to be talking about in this video. But anyway, I think he comes back to life. And I remember watching this and I was like, why the fuck does he keep shocking people? Like, a lot of the deaths he'll find a way to use power, electricity to kill people. Then I'm like, oh, duh. He was in an electric chair, so now he's getting revenge with electricity, which makes sense. But he drives a motorcycle. There's lots of cool kills in this. Cool practical effects. Definitely recommend this one. Welcome to Spring Break. Spring Break horror at its best. All right, this is part 2 to something I introduced to you guys, I think, in the last video, which was the Black Scorpion franchise. Remember, there's 2 Black Scorpion movies, and then you have the television series that came out later on, I think a couple of years after. I think it was short-lived, but obviously there was some love with this franchise, 2 movies and a television series. Now this one does get some hate, but I do enjoy this one as well. And the cover is just as badass, if not more badass, than the first one. Black Scorpion 2 with Joan Severance. All 5'10" of her beautiful ass. Now this came out in 1997. Now the first one wasn't as cheesy as this one. I gotta admit, this one is ultra fucking cheesy. But I think this is the funner film, to be honest with you. The first one's the better film. This is the funner film. I laughed a lot in this one. There's lots of corny ass humor in it. This introduces new characters in it that are absolutely ridiculous. The Gangster Prankster, I think is one of their names. Aftershock, which is really funny. A chick that was, she thought she had invented something that you drill into the ground and it does something to the platelets and stops earthquakes. But she ended up like killing a bunch of people. So then she turned into an evil villain called Aftershock, trying to kill people. I mean, it's so funny. Garrett Morris, the black guy, the funny black, is he a comedian? He's in a lot of, I think he was in Martin. He's in a lot of funny movies. Garrett Morris returns, so there's some continuity there. Obviously, Joan Severance returns. And, yeah, man, give this one a watch. Very collectible, the franchise in general. And, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. 1997. Let me put this back in the plastic. I feel like I'm yelling. Am I yelling? This is a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a long time. And what book is this from? Well, this is executive produced by Roger Corman, but I felt like this was a book. Somebody in a Whatnot stream was saying that it was a Stephen King book, which is totally wrong. Oh, it's a Dean R. Kuntz best-selling thriller. The Watchers book is supposed to be really good. But anyway, The Watchers with Corey Haim, 1988. Again, Corman film. Now, I grew up with Corey Haim, so anything that Corey Haim's in, I want to check out. And unfortunately, this one does have pretty bad disc rot. The seller hooked me up, gave me a full refund on this, which was really nice, because I still got the cover. And by the way, this is really in minty condition. It still has the shrink wrap on it, and just perfect condition. But yeah, this had audio rot and disc rot, video rot. At least that's what I call it. I don't know. A lot of crackling and popping coming from the speakers, and really snowy in some parts, but still watchable, but just like not watchable at the same time. But anyway, there is in this small town, they're doing testing on animals and like DNA swapping, and this watcher creature, well, this plant blows up, and the dog in the film, there's a dog that they were doing DNA swapping on, escapes, and this creature that's on the front here escapes as well, and somehow they're connected kinetically or something about it, but the monster will go after the dog. The dog is adopted basically by Corey Haim, so the monster's now after Corey Haim and his family and the dog. They're trying to protect the dog's trying to protect the family. I think it's a very fun film. I can't wait to get a good, clean copy of it that does not have disc rot. But yeah, definitely check this out. Highly recommend this one. And there's multiple movies in the franchise. The Beastmaster himself is in part 2, Watchers 2, which I want to pick up. And then there's definitely a Watchers 3. There might even be a 4, I'm not sure, but there's definitely 3 of them. I'll put that up there for now. Get a sip of coffee. Hopefully you guys have been spinning some Laserdiscs and not just collecting Laserdiscs. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than that. Watch your movies, guys. Man, I do nothing but watch movies. And I love it. Now, unfortunately, speaking of disc rot, I think I got a refund on this one too. This one had some bad disc rot. I think in like the second half of the first side. And then at the end of the second side as well. So I really didn't get to enjoy this one. I need to get a clean copy and watch this again. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. This is a famous franchise, prostitute street, street film that started obviously with Angel 1. Actually, I think we're going to talk about Angel 1, which is considered a cult classic. But the sequels are pretty good too. I thought that the first half of side 1 was boring as fuck. Like I didn't know, it totally did not feel like an Angel film to me at all. But then the second half got really good. So now I'm interested in watching it again. And of course the end of side 2 was kind of fucked up, so it was hard to enjoy. But yeah, like side 1, no good. Side 2, a lot of fun. And no, this does not have the first chick, the high school chick that turned prostitute. I want to say all the Angel films have different chicks in them. They're all smoking hot though. The chick in this is really, you know what? I actually like the chick in this film, possibly better than the first chick in Angel 1. I did want to say that. Yeah, the chick that I don't know what her name is. Let me see. Maud Adams? That's an old lady name. Hopefully that's not her name. Poor chick. Anyway, yeah, definitely looking forward to getting Angel 2 and getting a clean copy of that one. Just fun street trash, man. Can't beat it. Speaking of street trash, now this is definitely a bad condition copy as far as not only the cover, but the disc itself. I thought would never play in a million years. When I looked at the disc, I was like, oh, this seller fucked me. But it plays perfect, like no issues, no snow, no speckling, no audio issues. This actually plays really well. And this is a Warriors ripoff, guys, Chains. And I highly enjoyed this one and highly recommend it to anyone that loves trash street films. This is Chains territory. There's only one way in and no way out. But basically, these two couples, these yuppies, are, driving, I don't know, to Golden Corral or some shit. They end up getting lost and they take a wrong turn and they end up in these back streets of Chicago in the worst possible area you could ever imagine. And the Chains run the streets, the Chains gang. And they pick up this guy who's running from the Chains, but they don't know who he is. They just think he's a street guy who's in trouble. They decide to help him. They're very concerned whether they should help him or not at first. Even when he's in the car, they're trying to kick him out. And the couples are arguing about it because they don't know who that guy is. And later on, it's kind of revealed. I don't want to spoil too much. But basically like the Warriors, but you're not dealing with so many gangs like the Warriors. You're just dealing with one or two gangs. They end up going to a warehouse, escaping to this warehouse. And the main focus in the movie is in that warehouse, them trying to survive from the gang, the Chains. 1989, or 1989, guys. Let me see. Kind of reminds you of a Judgment Night with that, with Emilio Estevez, but I think this is much better, to be honest with you, and much trashier too. So a high recommend on that one. Tight White Trash, TWT. And by the way, a rare one to get a hold of. This will not, you will not get this on the cheap, guys, like I did. But again, my condition is kind of beat up. Not kind of, it's definitely beat up. I mean, you find a mint copy of that, you might be spending $100. Just an example. I could be exaggerating a little bit. 75 to $100, I would say, would be normal for a really good condition copy of that. All right, so speaking of Angel, I grew up on this. Obviously, it's controversial because she's a high school chick, but she's not really a high school chick. She's 20-something years old during the filming of this. But that's the story. Like, she's a high school chick, and I'm not going to give up the spoiler why she's prostituting, who she lives with, but it's a really cool film. I would say this is a cult classic. All the different street characters that she meets are looking out for her and trying to protect her. But there is a serial killer on the loose, and the serial killer is played by, let me see if I got his name, John Deal, John Deal. It's D-I-E-H-L, and he plays a serial killer, much like he reminds me much of like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Really fucking good performance in this. Real creepy performance. Just a nasty, sick individual. And he's going after prostitutes, trying to kill them left and right. And eventually will go head to head with Angel and her, in the street people that are trying to protect her. You know, the characters in this film are very likable. I think that what makes it, it's not the best film in the world, but I think the characters are so likable. And by the way, this came out in 1984. And the young high school prostitute's name is, her real name is Dana Wilkes. And you got this guy who's like this old, I think they play him like he was like actually a Western movie star, like back in the 50s or maybe the early 60s, and now he's a street performer. And then you have a transvestite who's really funny, prostitute, this guy. But yeah, good shit, man. High school honor student by day, Hollywood hooker by night. Her two worlds are about to collide. It's her choice, her chance, her life. Angel. But basically, the high school finds out she's a prostitute. Some bullies there. So now they confront her and get her in the car. And, well, that doesn't end very well for any of those guys. Let me just put it to you that way. Again, not wanting to give up too many spoilers. All right, moving along. All right, Mob War, which is basically a mafia, you know, like a Goodfellas style film. So basically in this reckless mob boss that's feuding with other mob families hires a public relations guy to improve his public image. So that's what this is all about. I think this is the mob guy right here. And the public image guy is like this hot shot guy who's, you know, has no clients like mafia bosses, but says fuck it because this guy's going to pay him so much money. And so he ends up helping him. Then he realizes this mob boss is completely fucking deranged and he's in over his head. And it's weird because the mob boss is like giving him bags of cocaine. He gets him hooked on cocaine, so he's sniffing cocaine all the time, getting high out of his fucking mind, and then finally he realizes that he's in danger, like serious danger. So he tries to leave, and this guy like threatens his family, and you know, like holds him hostage, and is like he's gonna cut his hand off and do all kinds of bad shit to him. So scares the fuck out of him. So he ends up going to another mob boss and saying that he wants to do a hit on that mob boss. And the other mob boss is actually a fighter, a professional fighter back in the old days. Let's see if I can find his name. Let me see. Why am I not seeing his name? Oh, Jake LaMotta, which is like one of the best boxers of all time. So he goes to Jake LaMotta's character and says, I want to hit this guy, which is so unbelievable. He's the fucking public image guy who lives in a wife, you know, lives with his girlfriend in a condo, eats sushi, you know, and plays like, you know, I don't know, charades with his friends. All of a sudden, he's going to do a hit on a mob boss. So the hilarity of that just will, you know, make you laugh. But it's pretty good. Nothing to write home about, but not a bad film. Decent for a mob movie. I don't know. I give a soft recommend on it. So I think I watched a couple of mob movies we'll be talking about. Where did this plastic come from? All right, watched this recently, Final Impact, with everybody's favorite guy, Lorenzo Lamas. And basically this is like a Rocky ripoff to a certain extent. This movie's hilarious. So he used to be like one of the best mixed MMA guys, right? And he now like works at this this gym, but he's like in the office all the time drinking. It's so funny, like every shot of this film, he's got like a glass of like vodka or gin in his hand, and he's just drinking it up. Like every shot of the film, he's getting drunk. It's so funny. And anyway, some young upstart walks in the gym. He sets him up with a fight immediately, and the guy's a badass. So he's thinking to himself, so in the beginning of the film, Lamas gets beat by this guy. And like he stops fighting because he's like, you know, he almost gets killed by this guy. And he stops fighting. He gives up on fighting. And so now he wants this young guy to beat that guy, right? Kind of like the Apollo a little bit, and Drago situation with Rocky, similar to that. So he trains the young guy, but again, he's drinking alcohol the whole time he's training him, which is so funny. And then at the end of the film, he gets to fight the guy that beat Lamas while Lamas is coaching him. But then a lot of other crazy shit happens in the film I don't want to get into. But yeah, man, this is actually a PM Entertainment film, one of the best in trash. So if you want PM Entertainment greatness, Fatal Impact is definitely one that you guys should check out. All right, on to the next one. All right, this is an interesting one here. Now, this is not trash. War Party, starring Kevin Dillon and Billy Wirth. Which, by the way, you know, Matt Dillon gets all the credit in the world, but Kevin Dillon should get his flowers too for being in a lot of B movies. And, you know, he's a good actor. I think he needs to get his flowers. Billy Wirth as well has been in a lot of B stuff. He's been in some A stuff too. He was in Lost Boys. in a few other films. Yeah, I like both of those actors. This actually got pretty good reviews by the critics. And basically what happened a century ago, the cavalry massacred Indians in the Battle of Milk River. So that's like a real thing that happened, guys. So move forward to whatever year this is, 1984 or whatever year it is. And does it say what year this is? Let me see. I don't see it. This is definitely some 80s shit. But move forward to the 1980s, and you know, these white people are living side by side next to these Indians in the community, and the mayor gets this bright idea to reenact this war. You know how people do reenactments and stuff? They kind of walk through it, you know. Well, and this is the funniest thing with this film. For whatever reason, it was a bad idea in the first place, because there's already tension between the Indians and the white people in this town. There's like this this bar fight happens. I think so. Billy Wirth and Dylan are Indians, and there's a bar fight that happens at a pool hall in the beginning, and that kind of stirs things up. And then at the beginning of the reenactment, there's literally like people drinking Jack Daniels straight from the bottle. People are smoking weed. And then, of course, the reenactment starts. Someone's got live ammunition, and it ends up killing one of the Indians. And then, I can't remember, Billy Wirth, or this happens early on, so it's not too much of a spoiler, or Kevin Dillon's character ends up using a tomahawk and actually killing that guy. And then these two are on the run, and from the police, from I think the FBI gets involved, the town's rednecks get involved, trying to get revenge. And this has got like Rambo elements in it too, where they're setting traps. Yeah, I think this was a really good film, man. I enjoyed this one. Definitely check it out. HBO video film. This has a really good surprise kill towards the end of the movie. That, man, is so badass. So well done. So well executed. Now, I have not watched this one recently, guys, but I've watched it a million times in my life. And it's probably the most classic anthology ever made, and that is Creepshow. Is this a gatefold? No. But this is a 2-disc, I believe. Yeah, it's got 2 discs. The most fun you'll ever have being scared. But yeah, George A. Romero and Stephen King, what a combination. The masters of terror and the macabre. And it's so badass. Stephen King actually plays in one of the films where where he finds the crater in the backyard, and he gets the green stuff on him, and that green vegetation starts growing all over his property. I mean, they're all classics in this one. They got Ted Danson and the guy from the Naked Gun series, was it Nielsen, where he buries him in the sand up to his neck. And then you got the birthday wish one. Can't remember the full story on that one. Doesn't this one have the box in it too? I'm trying to remember. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's not called the box, it's called the crate. That's a really good one. That's one of my favorites. And then this one also has the cockroach one, the millionaire who has the cockroach phobia. There's so many classics, stories on this anthology. And then obviously Creepshow 2. I mean, The Raft is probably my favorite of the first two Creep shows, but I don't know, maybe The Crate is my second favorite. There's so many good ones. The Creep Show 1 and 2 are just absolute classics. I'm not going to talk too much more about it, but definitely check out Creep Show if you haven't. If you haven't watched the Creep Show films, you're not a horror fan. I mean, simple and plain. God bless me. All right, not going to talk about this one. I have not watched this recently, but I've watched this 100 times in my life. And that is First Blood. The guy right here eats shit that'll make a billy goat puke. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right, next up. Have not watched this recently either, but I've watched this probably about 3 times in my life. And it's got a voluptuous, beautiful smokehouse, absolute, stunningly beautiful Linda Blair in it. And one of the most shocking full frontal or full front breast assist kabunga knocker scenes of all time. Like literally like a pan, zoom in, perfect breast shot I mean I've ever encountered in my life. And this is an absolute cult classic. One of the most cultiest classics of all cult films, Savage Streets. And I love the bad guy in this. Hopefully I can find his name. Robert Dreyer is one of the best bad guys in the history of B-movie films. Look him up. He's been in so much good shit. Well, basically he rapes her handicapped sister, which is like the lowest form of, you know, just the worst thing anyone could ever do. Someone that's mentally retarded. He ends up raping her, and Linda Blair has to get revenge. I mean, look how hot she is. I mean, this is a Vestron release, guys. So badass. This will cost you a lot of money, guys. If you want to get this one, I got a pretty decent deal on this, on whatnot, as you can from time to time, but wow. This is an incredible rape revenge film. One of the best, top tier rape revenge films of all time. All right, again, I'm getting kind of tired of, you know, I can't watch every Laserdisc, guys. And when I watch Laserdisc so many times, I'm not going to watch them again because my backlog of movies that I haven't watched is so extensive that you're going to get a few of these in these shows that I'm doing here on YouTube. But everybody knows this one. I've seen it quite a few times. American Me. One of the best prison films of all time. One of the best street films of all time. Or gang films of all time. Let me put you that way. And, yeah, I guess the guy that's like the head of the Mexican Mafia, one of the leaders, Edward James Olmos, directed this film and starred in it. But anyway, he portrayed that Mexican Mafia boss as someone who got raped in prison. That was part of the story, and the Mexican Mafia claimed that that was not true. And the Mexican Mafia actually, I think, put a hit out on Edward James Olmos, which is pretty crazy. And I think people were actually killed because of that portrayal of the Mexican Mafia boss in the movie. Like, people lost their lives over that shit. So pretty serious shit went down because of this movie. Now, by the way, this has, what's our boy's name right here? It's going to kill me not to think of his name. The bald head guy. He's in Direct Hit, the PM Entertainment film. Why is his name on? Well, he was very young when this came out. That's probably why his name's not on here. Oh well, moving on. I know who he is. All right, this one wasn't bad, but I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna end up flipping this one up. Probably not, because it's not really worth anything. But I probably, if I ever do a Whatnot show, this will be one that I'll put up. I think some people will like it. It's pretty fucking weird. David Carradine is a transvestite the whole movie. So that's her or him right there. And it's so funny, on the back of it, it says, a shattering, unforgettable performance by David Carradine. It's like, there's no way it's a shattering performance. I mean, you know, nobody's praising his portrayal in this film. It's just whatever, you know. But anyway, I guess her husband is this guy. And I don't know what else he's been in, but he's pretty fucking good. He's a menacing, like, 480-pound fucking brute. I mean, he's just sweating the whole fucking movie and breathing hard and killing people. But anyway, there's like this bank heist that happens in the film. One of his guys does a bank heist, not a bank heist, it's like a home invasion, and he robs this family and steals their car, and their baby is in the fucking car, which he doesn't know. And David Carradine's transvestite character falls in love with the baby. They end up keeping the baby. The cops are in bed with him, so they won't, you know, they let him do whatever. He basically runs the town, so they don't get in trouble for taking a baby. And they raise the baby up, and they raise him like in a, in like this, they raise him like like they torture him, and they raise him like an animal. It's fucking weird. There he is right there. It's pretty entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. And I've never seen it. It's pretty fucking obscure. I don't know. I don't know if I recommend it, but I think some people will like that one. All right, another mafia movie here. This one's Killer Instinct. And no, it's not the Killer Instinct, the video game. There's no killer dinosaurs in this. 1992. This is the Prohibition era. Yeah, this is a Prohibition era mafia movie, basically with two brothers, and it's about their rise within the families and eventually starting a mafia war. So these two guys right here, I didn't think these characters were likable enough and cool enough to pull this film off. They're not too bad, but they're just kind of okay. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. I mean, basically, it's all about their story. This is a Vidmark title here, guys. It is a little bit trashy, and you know, there's good action in it. Some people get a kick out of it as I drop it. Killer Instinct. It's got a great name. All right, we got one or two left in this box. Actually, 3 movies, and then I got to go to the next box. I'll have to pause and pop the trunk. All right, another obscure film here. This is Road Killers. And, of course, this has Christopher Lambert and Craig Sheffer in it. I believe that's Craig Sheffer. He's been in lots of movies, including Nightbreed, if you recognize him. He's a good actor. He's been in a ton of movies. And he's a good actor in this, but he overacts a lot in this film, though. Christopher Lambert's Christopher Lambert. He's royalty amongst B films. This came out in 1994. It's also known as Road Flower. I've never heard of this film. And I kind of know why now, because it's really not the greatest, to be honest with you. Shooter McGavin is in this film, which is funny. And A young Josh Brolin is also in this film. So there's lots of good actors in this film, but yeah, you might want to, I mean, I don't know, man. It is pretty trashy, but I don't know if I recommend it. I might keep it. Will I watch it again? That's kind of the question with me with Laserdisc. I don't know. I might not watch this one again. And basically what happens is Shooter McGavin, I don't know his real name, and his family and Christopher Lambert's family get into it with these guys on a road trip, and they play that game where cars like go at each other to try to see who's going to swerve off the road. And Shooter McGavin ends up swerving out the road and dying. His car ends up blowing up. And then all of a sudden, Lambert's family gets kidnapped by this crew because they're scared that they're going to go to the police. And then Lambert, you know, has to save his family, basically. The end of this is so fucking hilarious. It does have a really funny, shocking end to it that'll make you laugh. And how many people have seen Road Killers? It's pretty fucking obscure. If you're looking for obscure films, definitely something to collect, I guess. All right, next up here, White Man's Burden with John Travolta and Harry Belafonte. This movie absolutely sucks ass. I cannot defend it at all. It is terrible. And it's so funny that John Travolta's career is so weird to me. It's like, I've never seen an actor so hot and so cold. Like, he's so great in so many films. You know, from the early Saturday Night Fever, Urban Cowboy, countless films. Then reinvents himself later on in Pulp Fiction, and then does a stinker like this movie. I just don't understand it. I mean, he's so bad in this film. He's unlikable. Harry Belafonte's unlikable. His character sucks. He sleepwalks through the whole fucking movie. And, yeah, no redeeming qualities about this film, guys. I definitely, highly do not recommend this shit. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, super cool premise, by the way. White people switch roles with black people, and black people switch roles with the white people. So now most of the white people are getting, you know, whatever, Rodney King by cops, and, you know, all the black people are rich and they're racist against the white people. The premise is fucking brilliant and could have been a great film. It's not. It sucks. Pass on it. All right, last in this box, and this is some really good, trashy, redneck, back of the woods type of shit right here. And I just saw this for the first time like a year or so ago and was blown away by it. I'm getting a phone call from somebody. I don't know who that is. But yeah, Southern Comfort. And this has got Keith Carradine, David Carradine's brother, Powers Booth, who's an absolute legend. It was written in part by Walter Hill, who's a classic one of the best screenwriter directors of all time. Directed by Walter Hill. And yeah, so what happens is, I think these guys are like, most of the guys are like part-time military guys. They like, you know, 6 months out of the year or whatever, National Guard or something of that nature, where they're on a, you know, they're doing their little time, their little tour or whatever, and they're not like any kind of war or anything like that, but they're like in the back of the woods in redneck territory, and they end up taking someone's boat and it's the wrong boat to steal because it's a crazy fucking redneck family's boat, and they take the boat to finish whatever mission that they're on or whatever, and the rednecks find out they stole their boat, and then a war starts in the fucking woods between the rednecks and these guys. And yeah, man, one of my favorite back in the woods redneck revenge films of all time. Southern Comfort, TWT. Definitely pick this one up. Good fun. Walter Hill Powers booth. Come on, man. You guys know what's up. All right, I'm going to pause and pop the trunk, get the rest of the boxes. All right, guys, I just noticed I'm at 50 minutes already. I got to race through the rest of this shit. I am becoming obsessed with the Amityville franchise. There's so many cool movies in the franchise. Just to kind of break things down, the first 3 films, I believe, were in the original house, okay? All the films after were in different houses. You see this one doesn't have those iconic windows, right? And they're all about objects that were, so the first 3 films were, you know, the houses are possessed, right? The subsequent films are objects that are from the original house that have been transported to other houses, I think in the Amityville area, if that makes any sense. So they're all about objects. And in this movie, it is no different. There's not a father possessed. The house is not possessed. A kid's not possessed. A fucking lamp, of all things, is possessed in this film, which is so funny. This movie gets a lot of hate for being bad, but it is very entertaining. So I do highly enjoy this. This is horror trash at its best. And there's so many cool films in the franchise. I just bought one off of eBay. I think it's About Time, Amityville. I think this one is the 4th film in the franchise, and It's About Time might be 5. And there's another one, I think The New Generation, and then there's one more that is extremely rare and hard to find. But yeah, I recommend this one. And I think I'm gonna race through shit, and I'm talking more about this than anything. But yeah, Vidmark horror trash, guys. Amityville, the evil escapes. Search it out. And I'm holding the brakes, so I'm probably got a lot of vibration on the dashboard, which is not good. So if you heard a lot of vibration during that scene, hopefully it'll be better now. Now, I watched the first movie. I watched the first movie, or the second movie first, which is kind of a mistake. And a lot of people hate on the second film, but I actually thought that, for some reason, I feel like I talked about this in the last video, but I could be wrong. Well, I'll be quick. This is a cult classic. Love this film. Came out in 1987. I enjoy part 2. It's a lot more cheesier, but it still has great practical effects like this film. And yeah, it's good shit. Now, Michael Nouri is in this, who I think is an extremely underrated actor. Kyle MacLachlan and Clu Gulager, rest in peace. One of the iconic actors from so many great movies. He was in Return of the Living Dead and so many more. This movie does the whole buddy cop thing really good. And basically it's an alien invasion, small town America film. Highly enjoyable, not a boring moment in that movie. I see where it gets its reputation from. All right, moving on. Oh man, this is fucking trash at its best. So even though this says City Limits, this is actually a PM Entertainment film, so you can get confusing sometimes. But it does say PM Entertainment right there in the credits, so you know it's PM Entertainment. And so you know it's not PM Entertainment adjacent or associated. It's got Richard Pepin and Joseph Mary. That's who you always look for, those names. And you know it's true PM trash. Now this gives, PM Entertainment's usually so big, they're low budget, but they seem like they're big budget, which is the opposite of AIP. Now, AIP gets the reputation of being the more trashy films. This gives any AIP film a run for its money. This is sci-fi trash at its best. And, yeah, man, really good shit here. I thought for sure this was going to be like a Star Wars ripoff with Billy D in it, but it's not actually a Star Wars ripoff. It's very interesting. This is a virtual reality movie where where he recruits a bunch of guys from prison, and they have life in prison. So he says, if you go on this mission with us in space, well, after it's done, you'll be free. So they agree to go. They have this every Friday. They let them go on these virtual, where they get in these like almost like cryo freeze type of chamber deals. And then there are these virtual reality fantasies where they get to have sex and be the heroes. And so this chick is like this virtual reality chick, kind of hard to describe, but she ends up being the evil villain in the film. She's super hot, by the way. Can't remember what her name is. But anyway, yeah, good shit. 1991. It's got terrible CGI spaceships in it, bad acting, laser gunfights. I mean, it's got it all, man. Really good shit. Oh, Tracy Scroggins is the hot chick in it. And who actually, she grew up like 30 minutes from where I grew up at, which is interesting. She's been in Demonic Toys, Time Bomb, Watchers 2, Snow Job, which is on the 3DO video game system, the game. So, really famous chick. All right, now, moving on. I know my phone's going to run out of memory. There's no way it's not. All right, I love my gang films. This is Gang Trash, Gang Justice, 1991. Directed by Woo-Sang Park, who directed Miami Connection. This actually feels much more like a PM film than an AIP movie to me. Oh, what's funny about this film, because by the way, yeah, this is AIP, guys. The King of Trash. What's funny about this cover, none of these actors are in the movie, which I absolutely adore when AIP does that. 0 of these guys are in the fucking movie, which is so hilarious. Now, Paul is the kid in this film where it's kind of like a Karate Kid story, where he is the kid getting bullied at school, but he knows like karate and shit, so he's like kicking ass. And how do I explain this? So his father is like this drunk because the wife, or the kid's mother, left them, and he left them for Eric Estrada's character. Now, Eric Estrada's son, which is kind of the Paul's stepson, but he lives with his dad, and Eric Estrada lives with Paul's mom and this bully kid at school. And the kid is like he's kind of like, he's an interesting bully because he doesn't let other guys use knives. Like, he protects his brother to a certain extent, but then wants to whoop his ass, and he's more down with his friends than he is with his brother. So they have this arch rivalry. But lots of cool fight sequences in the film. And then this movie kind of tugs at your heartstrings, man. There's like some sad shit that goes on in this film. That's why I said it's more like a PM entertainment film. AIP is like straight trash all the time, but this is this has some more dramatic stuff in it that kind of surprises you. I think this is a good film. I highly recommend it. Gang Justice. Check it out. Probably run you 20, 30 bucks if you get it off of eBay. Find it out in a while, then who knows. All right, I need to move faster. All right, Puppet Master, cult classic. This one is extremely, I forgot how much of a slow burn it is. That's why I think many people enjoy the later efforts in the franchise. Probably Puppet Master 2, 3, 4 get a lot more love. But this shows some of the original Puppet Master creatures, some of the classics that are in a bunch of them moving forward. The guy with like the screw top head, and it's got the guy with the small ass head but got the big ass fucking body who's hilarious. And then it's got the leech woman who's shooting leeches out of her mouth and stuff. So it's got some classic creatures in it, or puppets in it. The last act in this film is really good, but yeah, it's a super slow burn. But definitely check it out if you're a horror fan. There's so many in the franchise. There's got to be like 8, 9 movies. Next up, and my brother Tight White knows so much about this movie, and so much happened to him that he showed off in his last video. We won't go into all that stuff, but a big part of his last Good Will Hunting video was the replicator who was sent to kill him and take over his identity. We have Replicator Clone to Kill. This has got Ned Beatty in it, who I'm a big fan of. I honestly am not a huge fan of this film, though. I wish there was a movie that replicated it that was actually good. I'm going to give it another go one day, but for some reason, I just was not super into this one. So take that for what it's worth. It's not the best. Okay, speaking of not the best, and I know my boy Sammy, shout out to him again. I know he really wanted me to, he's the one that talked me into getting in this, and I do want all the AIP films, don't get me wrong. And this is not a bad film at all. It's trashy, the acting is horrible, like in every AIP film. There's a really good sequence in the beginning of this film with a car chase sequence. Cop out, corruption knows no law. Doesn't this have Travolta in it? Travolta's brother? Am I mixing that up with somebody else? Yeah, I am mixing that up. Stars David Buff, Catherine Luster, and Dan Ranger. I think this Dan Ranger character is like in a lot of AIP stuff. I recognize him. But anyway, probably at the bottom of my list as far as AIP stuff is concerned. But I did get some good laughs out of this. It is pretty entertaining. Sammy loves it, so you might love it. Check it out. It's AIP, so it's fucking certified. All right, speaking of certified and speaking of AIP, now I enjoyed this one actually better. I'm not going to get too much into the synopsis of these films because, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to run out of space on my phone pretty soon here. Presumed guilty. There's no such thing as law and order. What happens in this film? They say a man is innocent until proven guilty. Not Jesse. He's presumed guilty. His only crime? He made the fatal mistake of falling in love with the sheriff's daughter. A move that cost him 3 years of his life in the slammer. Now he's out. And when his trusted friend is brutally murdered, every finger points to Jesse. Suddenly he finds himself hunted down by a bloodthirsty band of vigilantes led by the corrupt sheriff's deputy who just might be responsible for the murder. On the run with the woman he loves. He's wanted dead or alive. Preferably dead. So that's AIP. Good, fun trash. Definitely recommend it. Check it out, guys. And then I think I got one more in this box, and we'll do one more box, and I'm getting out of here. Now, I announced this in my Discord as being a classic, but I haven't seen it in a while, and I did watch it again, and I'm going to take that back. It is not a classic, but it was actually filmed, I think, in Bulgaria at a real castle, or in a real castle. And location, guys. You couldn't get a better location than this fucking film. The castle is amazing. It's worth watching for the castle alone. And the cast of characters in this film are very likable as well. You can't say that about all the Howling films for sure. But where this movie does not achieve masterpiece TWT status is they don't show enough of this practical effect here. Too many scenes of death, of murder, are off camera, and it shocks me that they did that. They had the castle, they had the cast of characters. They should have brought more of this, and this would have been one of the greatest Howlings of all time. I still respect it. The story's good. The cast of characters are good. Location's great. Check it out. It's enjoyable. Not a masterpiece. All right, guys. Got 15 minutes left on my phone. I don't really have too much else I can delete, so I'm going to race through this. Amityville 2, The Possession. Good film. This is basically Amityville, the first movie, mixed with The Exorcist. Hence The Possession. Lots of dark themed stuff in this film, like incest and, abuse, sexual abuse. This has Paulie from Rocky as the father. He was the Rocky's best friend in the original Rocky movie, Paulie. He's in this film. This is from 1983, by the way, guys. And I wasn't a big fan of the end of this movie, though. But good shit, man. Good film. Definitely a really cool sequel. All right. This movie is so bad, but it's so bad that it's actually fucking entertaining. 1983 AIP trash here, guys. Island Fury. And by the way, I got this factory sealed and did open it because I'm a baller, a Laserdisc baller. And both of these guys are not in the film, which is an AIP staple now, apparently. But yeah, I mean, this basically has to do with these two girls that went with their family to an island when they were younger, and there ended up being treasure on the island. I'm going to go ahead and pause. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. There ended up being treasure on the island when they were kids. They got like one coin. And later on, when they're adults, they're hanging out close to where that island is. And these guys kidnap them and hold them hostage and take them to the island to show them where they found that coin at, so they can find the rest of the treasure. And there's cannibals on the island. There's so much ridiculous going on with it. Definitely check it out. AIP Island Trash. All right, next up here. This is a really good film. I've seen this before. Unfortunately, this does have audio visual disc rot, so I do need another copy of this. Watchable to a certain extent, but definitely need another copy. From 1988. It's got Anthony Perkins, who basically is a director inside of the film, making a prison movie inside of this prison where this guy, Alzado, was executed but came back from death, and there was this a riot and a prison escape that happened, and so now he's back killing people with jackhammers and all kinds of shit. Really classic. He's laughing the whole movie with a sinister laugh, which gets to be so repetitive, but it's funny. He's an absolute brute in the film. Some good kills in that film, actually. I gotta give him credit. Let me see here. All right, need a race here. Hellgate. Speaking of bad films, this is Vidmark trash right here from 1989. This had disc rot as well. I'm gonna have to get another copy of this. Let me see. Now, it's kind of misleading, because when you think of this up here, from the special effects masters behind Hellraiser. I think of Bob Keane, who I think directed Proteus, who is a special effects master. He had nothing to do with this film at all. But, to their credit, there is good special effects in this film, including a fucking scene where this lady is shot and is blown out a window. It's one of the coolest special effects I've ever seen. Worth owning the movie just for that, guys. But yeah, this girl is kidnapped by a biker gang. The father kills the part of the biker gang, but she ends up dying. And then he finds something in a cave that can bring her back to life. So it's got kind of some Pet Cemetery stuff to it. It's fun. It's trash. All right, fuck it. We can do that later. I'm running out of time. This movie actually surprised me. Handgun. Procrastinated on watching this for a while. This is a bank heist film, and it's got our boy Treat Williams in it. He's really good in the film. Rest in peace, Treat Williams. His father robs a bank and gets away with like $500,000 in cash, which was a lot of money back then. This is like back in the 80s. But he's like, is not close to his father anymore. But now he wants to get close to his father. His father's on the run, and a bunch of bad people are after his father, including corrupt cops and mafia members. So he gets caught in the middle of all that, and his brother as well. Really fun film. Not a boring minute in this film. Action-packed all the way throughout. Made me laugh. Lots of good ones in that. High recommend on that one. All right. So this is another one in the Curse films that is about objects that are taken to other houses from the original house, Amityville, the Amityville Curse, guys. Again, big fan of this movie. So bad it's good. Highly entertaining. I'm trying to remember. I think this is the one where they friends get together to resell this house, so they got to fix the house up. They choose the wrong house, guys. The acting in this movie is so bad that you will laugh your ass off. Good movie to get with a bunch of friends and just get drunk and have a good time. This chick's acting is just the best. She overacts in every scene. And really cool scene, cover right there too as well. Love the artwork on this. The orange, the black, the disc on the side. Good shit, guys. Definitely going to pick up all the Amityville movies, but it's hard because some of them are super rare. Says I got... Oh, I guess I got more time. All right, next up. Speaking of redneck, Back of the Woods. Classic films. This one shocked me at how good this one was because I've never even heard of it. Hunter's Blood. And it's got our boy. I'm going to forget his name, I'm sure. Let me see. Oh, shit. It's got Clu Gallagher in it as well. He's one of the good kids. He's basically a group of guys get together to go deer hunting. Okay? But there's a crazy family that lives in the woods. That's all they do is deer hunt. And they don't like poachers or people coming into their territory because they feel like they own the land. And one of the brothers is the legendary, by the way, Joey Travolta's in this. The legendary, wow, his name's not even mentioned on this. And I'm going to forget his name. As soon as I show you a picture of him, you're going to know. This guy. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm rushing so much. But anyway, they end up meeting with this crazed redneck family. And then they get into a big fight. And then the next thing you know, people get killed. And now this murderous gang of rednecks is after these deer hunters. And they have to fight for their lives to survive this redneck encounter. This has one of the coolest fucking scenes as far as like a head. So I'll just set it up. So in one scene, you see the good guy put a shotgun close to someone's head and shoot, right? So you know he fucking shoots him in the face. They don't show that part, but then in the very next scene, another guy comes around the corner and he tries to shoot the other guy, but he runs out of ammo. And the other guy runs around the corner. He rolls under this log And now he's in the scene with the body that he just killed, and you see the fucking body laying backwards going like this. And his fucking head's gone. It looks so badass. I'm telling you, you gotta check this out. It's got some fucking brutal shit in this. Heads decapitated. Rednecks are hanging the heads of these guys by trees. There's so much like good gore in this film. Definitely need to check this one out, guys. All right, I'll do all the plastic later. I'm gonna run out of time. All right, watched this last night. I mean, you got to put Michael Dudikoff in top 5 action stars of all time. He's just been in too much good shit. He's always good in films. Soldier Boys, which has the guy from Menace to Society in it. I don't really recognize the rest of them, but it's got kind of a motley crew of characters. Basically, like he's some ex-military star hero that's now like a warden or some kind of official at a prison, and he's trying to help the youth. Later on, you find like a touching story. Not touching, but you start feeling for him because they show a flashback of his family getting killed in a drive-by by gang members. But still he has this affinity for gang members trying to help them, I guess because of, you know, the fact that his wife and kids were killed by gang members. But anyway, a millionaire has his daughter kidnapped in Vietnam, held hostage. So he goes in and tries to ask him if he'll save his daughter. And at first he's like, no. But then he's like, okay, if you let me pick out some guys from the prison, some of these young youth, and if they can go free after the mission, I'll do it. And he takes the guy from Menace Society and all these guys with him. It's so unbelievable. Like, they go to Vietnam and they're fighting against like trained military. Like, this would never happen in a million years. Like, everything about this movie is so like unfathomable. None of it would ever happen. It's so unbelievable, but still, man, it's got a kind of a special place in my heart. Love the name, love the cover of it, and yeah, it's pretty much trash, but I still like it. I think because in that movie, you don't see them guys getting trained at all. Like, it would have been better, and maybe I missed it, but if they were like in a military prison, that would make sense. Like, they were ex-military guys, but they never mention that. They just show flashbacks of them doing drive-bys in the streets or whatever, getting into it with each other. And all of a sudden, Michael Dudikoff's taking them to a foreign land, fighting against trained military, and he never shows them how to use guns. He never trains them. It's like, yeah, it's bullshit. All right, next up here, one of the greatest names of all times in Laserdisc, Zipper Face. Now, I am going to recommend this one to you guys. This is AIP horror, guys. AIP trash at its finest. They tried to get too cutesy with the story and tried to make it like this whodunit shit. And then the reveal at the end of the film, when you find out who did it, it's kind of like, what? So I didn't like that. I wish they didn't reveal it at all, and they made like 2 or 3 of these because they had the momentum to do that. Because the guy in the leather, you know, S&M, whatever it's called, outfit with the zippers, he's got the fucking diamond-studded eyebrows and shit. He looks fucking cool as fuck, and it starts off like so good. Well, the first time he's gonna kill these prostitutes, they get away. Well, I think he kills one of them. The rest get away. And then he's trying to kill the rest of them during the movie. The second time he runs into he hires prostitutes, there's a decapitation scene. And I'm thinking, this is going to be the greatest fucking horror movie I've ever seen. It's that good. It has ominous fucking music. The soundtrack is really cool. And then they kind of get away from it. Zipperface is not in the movie as much as he should. They don't continue with those fucking badass decapitation kills. Like, they had so much. It could have been so fucking badass. It's not as good as it should be, guys, but it is Zipperface. It is AIP. I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. All right, I got no time for that. that in the back. Now, Albert Pyun, rest in peace, is one of my favorite directors of all time. I didn't even realize until I watched this that Albert Pyun directed it, until like the end of the movie. And that is Arcade. And by the way, this was completely sealed in plastic. It had like a used little cardboard thing, but they could have threw it in the top because the top was opened up. Because when I open this up, it is minty fresh, guys. The disc is mint. Everything's mint on it. So if it's not brand new, it's like new condition. I opened it because of that used slip in there. Plus, I wanted to watch it. Now, I heard that, by the way, they always talk about Laserdisc with the bonus features. You don't see it enough, though. That's why they always say Laserdisc are better than DVD, because there's more bonus features. But a lot of Laserdisc don't have bonus features. Shout out to Full Moon, that puts so much effort into their movies and always has bonus sequences and interviews and trailers and whatnot. Really good job. There's lots of that on the second disc in this film. And they were explaining on it how the movie had been out 3 years. They had made it 3 years ago prior to it coming out, and completely did not like the virtual reality stuff, the video game world. So they redid that, hired a whole different company to do it. And I ain't gonna lie, it's fucking dated as fuck when you watch it now. It seems like it would have been dated back then. Some of it's really odd looking, but I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, this seems like it would be like a kid's movie, but there's really dark themes in this film with suicide and stuff like that, and kind of a shocking scene where someone shoots themselves in the head that really took me by surprise. But shout out to Albert Pyun, rest in peace. I think he did a good job with this Arcade. This is a cult classic. Basically, there's a game called Arcade, and it comes to life, and these kids get trapped up inside of the game, and yeah, lots of sequences in the arcade, and really cool vibe to this film. All right, last film here. Thank God. Holy fuck, this is a long video. We have the Beastmaster himself, Mark Singer, and Finn Carter in Sweet Justice. When revenge is bitter, justice is sweet. Now, this is kind of weird because Mark Singer doesn't play his normal role in this film. I won't give up a spoiler, but he's not the star of this film. This chick is actually the star, I think. Her hair is not even that color, though. It's weird. I don't even know if that's her. This is the star of the film, this girl right here. Anyway, she's like this mixed MMA fighter, mixed martial artist. I don't know why I can't say that. In the beginning of the film, and she's like not only a badass girl fighter, she's like fighting against men in the ring and beating their ass. So somehow she knows all these other badass chicks. I don't know. I might have missed it in the story, but I always think of the movie Pulp Fiction when they're in that 50s diner, and what's it called? The girl's telling John Travolta's character about the TV series that she was in, Force 5 or Fierce Force 5 or whatever the fuck it was. You know what I'm talking about. But that's what I think of. These girls are from that movie. I know they're not, but you know what I'm saying? Like Fierce 5 or Fierce Force 5 or whatever. Because they're all badasses and they all have like different shit that they're good at. But anyway, her sister ends up getting killed by this guy who lives in the town, who's like this rich guy, and they're like basically, you know, he's like the mayor of the town, I think, and they're putting like toxic waste into the water system and getting away with it and shit. Well, the sister finds out and tries to stop him. They end up killing the sister, and then so this girl comes to town to find out what's going on and gets this pack of girls together to get revenge against this mogul, this mayor of the town. This has got one of the most ridiculous endings of all time in a film. It's so ridiculous, you have to check it out. This ain't the best of films. I did enjoy it, but the end of this movie is worth owning it. And it's pretty fucking obscure. definitely worth having this one in the collection. I'm getting out of here, guys. I need to go eat. It's fucking 3 o'clock. I've not eaten lunch, and I have to host 2 Xbox Original events in a couple of hours, and I'm tired as fuck, dehydrated. Wow, that was a long video. All right, guys, check out Sammy's channel. I'm going to put the link in the description. Go support my brother, the king of the South, the trash king of the South. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you spin your lasers, guys. Don't just collect. All right, guys.